What's up guys, welcome back for another Yugioh Pro Tool video. Finally Dragunities are getting their Link monster in Vrains Pack 2, as you probably already have seen. Let's try it out right. Previously in the past I have been playing Dragunities a couple of times, but it was always with Needlefiber. Needlefiber is the all-in-one package, the link not only Dragunity needs, but you know, it pushes Dragunities by a lot. Immediately searching out one of the Dragunity tuners, set it up in your graveyard, opening up very appropriately 2 extra monster zones pointing down left and down right. Again, Needlefiber does a lot, so especially because Dragunity got their own Link monster, Romulus the name is, I decided not to include Needlefiber, but using the new Guardragons as well. It's definitely a boost for Dragunity since, especially without fiber, it's, well, it's quite easy to get this Dragunity on the field. You can use Dragon types, you can use Wing Beasts, so it's Wing Beasts, right? Like Sephiroth for example, and the level 4, I forgot its name, you know, banish a wit from your graveyard. The Spirit, Wind Spirit, you know which one I mean. So it only needs 2 of those monsters, and upon summon it immediately gets a search, so search Dragon's Ravine or any Dragunity card, well, spell, for example, here in the main deck. So again, very solid, definitely a good effect. It also has a built-in special summoning effect from the hand, but I don't think you can use that monster for Link summon, or if I'm mistaken, I don't think so, no, because it doesn't work with the Guardragons. Again, something to keep in mind. But still, the core business or the main goal of Dragunity still is the same. OTK your opponent. Going first, well, thanks to the Guardragons, this Dragunity deck or Dragunities have more tools of potentially going first, set up a couple of negates, or like one huge negate, like Crystal Wing for example. The extra deck, by the way, is super tight. You know, there are a couple of cards you can definitely run to special summon off of the Guardragon Link 2, but you don't really have any extra deck space, so you can just run like one. You're definitely running 1 Crystal Wing, but maybe 2, since you can definitely make 2 here in Dragunities. You know, the combos from the past with is it Rock? I believe the bird one. You know which one I mean. Anyway, so there are multiple 2-card combinations. Well, most of the time you need an extender as well, like 3-card combinations, and again, those can be Terraforming, Ravine, Ducks, Tuners, the Dragunity spell, etc, etc. So basically, like, more than half of your deck can, well, equalizes, at least can be one of those 3 cards. So it's quite consistent, but still, a real-life in-game situation is definitely different. Let's say your opponent has the hand traps. You can play around 1 hand trap, 1 impermanence, 1 Ash Blossom, 1 Ghost Ogre. That's definitely possible to play around, but if the opponent has multiple negations, then it's definitely very hard for this deck. Sadly, I can't abuse the, I forgot its name, of the level 8 Dragunity that, you know, equips like multiple Dragunity tuners from its graveyard, from the graveyard to it. Sadly, again, no possibility to abuse. But yeah, I think it's fine. You can just attack for game, right? Another example, again, going first this time. So here, well, basically the same place, right? Something that I like to do is going for any Dragunity Synchro monster first. Let's say the level 6 that searches any Wing Beast, for example, from your deck and adds it to your hand, but then you have to discard, for example, Sephiroth. So most of the time I go for that first before going for the Dragunity Link, again depending on your hand, since well, the deck does run multiple extenders. Also, as you know, the new Guardragon has that new continuous spell that basically also a follow-up play, basically putting a small, at least a low-level dragon type on your side of the field, potentially for a Link summon, for a synchro summon. So solid addition here again for Dragunities. I'm running the Link 4 Metal Dragon, the Red Eyes. Well, it's not really a Red Eyes Link, but you know which one I mean. It definitely has its use here in the main deck because of the Guardragons, and it very appropriately opens up 3 extra monster zones, and especially the markers. It works well with the Guardragons, and now let's not forget its Reborn effect can also come into play. Okay, you can't go for the Link summon after that, but still, reborning a tuner and go for a synchro summon can be important. Counter fairies, that deck is so not fun to play against. Anyway, he of course gets to start using the Condemned Witch? Not really sure if the TCG, or at least Witch, got the new name here in the TCG, dropping the Strudo as well here on the field with its 3k defense, but we know about one card potential negate is going to keep it, so that's at least that already might be a tell. It has one of the Mirror Forces set, Air Mirror Force. Not really sure which Mirror Forces counter fairies do run. I know that the Air, the Storming Mirror Force, that bounces back everything to the hand. Drowning, I don't think so. Sandstorm, I don't think, no, I think it's only the Storm Mirror Force, right? And it does have it. There was, I think, no reason to special summon Crystal Wing in attack position as well, again risking the potential Mirror Force, which again are basically staple in, again, any counter fairy deck. So sitting on the Crystal Wing, still have the continuous spell mass out of the field, potentially switch monster zones, but here in this situation not that important or not possible. So normal summon Ducks, but the summon gets negated, otherwise it would already have been GG, but sadly that is not the case. It does have a useless Par set in his hand. The Links are definitely in the extra deck, but I believe if it's not running something like Venus and the Shine Balls, which, let's face it, counter fairies don't run, you can pretty much only summon the Link from your Par set counter trap. You know which one I mean, like reveal a counter trap in your hand and then special summon something after that. But again, that's not something too fantastic, since in most situations I think you rather want to go for your regular effect Par set rather than the Link monster. Anyway, again, going first this situation, I think I went for the Synchro first, yeah, eventually then building up my field here in this. Because of display, you can just potentially, as you saw previously, reborn your level 6 Synchro and then keep milling your Dragunity tuners, basically thinning your deck, so I think that's okay. Again, ending with one negation being the Crystal Wing, and I believe this board was fine. You could have some extra extenders, like instead of searching the Ducks earlier is searching the level 4. Let's not forget, you have to special summon the level 4 Banish Wind before you use at least before you use special summon the Guardragons, right? Since you're forced to only special summon dragons after that. But I think this was better, just searching Ducks for your next turn. Anyway, go for the Link 2, I'm not really sure. I think it's just saying whatever to this particular field with the Suicide from his Grapha. But yeah, again, this again should be GG, right? As you saw from the deck profile, double Escalon in the extra deck. Again, as I mentioned, the extra deck is super tight. I'm thinking about the card ratios, also because of the Guardragons. Guardragons do take up some extra deck space, as you saw. So feel free to leave feedback about the extra deck. This is a very basic combo for the deck. Basically, any cards lead to this particular field of the Link 3 pointing downwards, and then I forgot, is it Epsi, the most right Guardragon reborning Red MD, and then it's up to you. You can potentially go for the Black Metal Link 4, and then, you know, go for the other Link 1 Dragon, and eventually keep upgrading your board, and eventually also end with the Crystal Wing as well. But yeah, anyway, it does have Twin Twister, but nope, the one of Crystal Wing proved to be just enough. Of course, potentially negating the normal summon of a Solid Man, well, the effect of Solid Man, that is, so that was definitely very important. Last example, again, going first this time, no, going second. Okay, that's cool. The opponent starting off, I believe, with only one negation and one hand trap. Eventually will draw into a Ghost Ogre, as you will see in a couple of moments. So my hand is definitely good. At least I was thinking about adding another Impermanence to the main deck just because of this. The opponent ending with multiple Floodgate monsters, Tri-Gate Wizard or something like that. You want to negate it and then establish your board. And Dragunities definitely have those 2/3 card combos that can lead to a big field, and of course Escalon popping multiple monsters from your opponent and potentially leading to an OTK. Anyway, go for the Guardragon setup again, reborning something with Red Eyes, Darkness, Metal Dragon, but I think I should be able to attack for game. Boral Swords, again, a very appropriate link markers. Escalon, just use Escalon's effect. It's just your opponent having multiple monsters, well, Escalon will deal with them, and now you'll be able to attack for game. So like always, this is currently my list. Feel free to leave suggestions. The Dragunity link, very, very solid. The deck needs fiber, but which deck doesn't need fiber? I mean, the deck, this Needlefiber does so much for Dragunities, right? But it doesn't really, well, you can definitely play around it, but you're missing the fiber, of course. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and feel free to leave a comment or a like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.